And I wonder if you could sort of tell us a little bit more now about how in your job as a data scientist and the technology you're working with, and specifically thinking about AI in the future, how those skills are now being deployed, and what are some of the sort of practical ways that the technology is being applied?
So for us, I mean, the thing to say actually to start all of this is that AI is not new. So it's one of those things where machine learning and data has been around a long time. So we're perhaps not as conscious of the places that we already use it in our daily lives. The first neural nets were built in the 1950s to try and understand how brains worked. The first chatbot was built in 1964 by a psychologist who wanted to give people a way of talking to a non-judgy human to be able to work through their problems. And this thing was just hard-coded, so it was a bunch of rules that if you started to talk about something, it would just ask you questions about what you were talking about. So it was supposed to be a simple therapist to help people deal with their problems. So it's been around a long time, but it's kind of been shielded a little bit from our view. So the current crop of machine learning models they're just the very top of a very deep iceberg that has been going on a long time around us. So the current world, so where I work now in a Prism, we use machine learning obviously to deploy our solutions. So to try and work out where people need support and where they need to develop their skills. But we also use it internally within our teams. So most of the engineering team have licenses to use ChatGPT to help them code. And it's really useful. So the ability to actually interact with this new breed of machine learning models day to day is really important to develop your understanding of how they work, and to actually, the irony is to train you to use them. So looking around the room, there aren't too many faces as old as mine. But when Google came out in 2000, well, it came into the public consciousness in 2001, 2002. Google really trained us to think in keywords. And the reason that they did that was because their search technology at the time wasn't able to deal with just writing in a sentence and looking for the answer to a sentence. So they actually realized very smartly that they couldn't make their machine learning solution that powered search better as fast as they could make humans better at using it. We're seeing the same thing now with ChatGPT. So actually, ChatGPT is training us to use it better. There's a lovely example of this that I saw a few years ago at a machine learning conference where there's a Hungarian team. So the competition was to build a neural measurement, essentially a brainwave measuring device that would measure people's brainwaves, and then you could use it to control a racing game in real time. And there were a bunch of teams who spent months and months working on their machine learning solutions to understand what people were thinking about from their different brainwaves and really training their machine learning models really carefully. The team that won was a Hungarian team who did a really simple job of just the most simple machine learning model you could imagine, and then spent 5 months training their driver. We're still there. Humans still learn faster than machines. So everything around you that you see, in some sense, is more geared to training us than to training machine learning models.